Do you have a venue?
Yeah, Waverly Hills, St. Asylum.
Bitch, that's, girl, I will see you whenever I...
Amy Slayton had never been one for conventional. So, when Brian Levorn proposed to her in a haunted house, it felt like the perfect beginning to their unconventional love story. The Gothic-style ring, featuring skeleton hands forming a heart, was a testament to their shared love for the eerie and unique. As they stood amidst the fog and shadows of Henderson haunts in Kentucky, Amy couldn't help but laugh. "You really know how to make a girl feel special," she teased, her voice echoing through the haunted halls. Brian grinned, his eyes twinkling. "I thought you'd appreciate a proposal that was a little different." And different it was. Amy had always dreamed of a wedding that defied expectations, and now, with Brian by her side, that dream was within reach. Amy's mind raced with possibilities. A Halloween wedding, of course. But where? She wanted a venue that matched her love for the macabre and the extraordinary. The answer came to her one evening as she scrolled through social media. "Waverly Hills Sanatorium," she whispered to herself. The abandoned tuberculosis hospital in Louisville, Kentucky, was known for its haunting history and paranormal activity. It was the perfect setting for a wedding that would be remembered for generations. She called Brian immediately. "What do you think about getting married at Waverly Hills?" There was a pause on the other end. "You mean like a haunted hospital?" "Exactly," Amy exclaimed. "It'll be unforgettable." Brian chuckled. "Well, if we're doing this, we're doing it right." Planning a wedding at a haunted sanatorium was no small feat. Amy enlisted the help of her sister, Tammy, who had recently tied the knot herself. Tammy's wedding had been a whirlwind affair, planned in just 2 weeks. This time, they had more time, but the challenges were no less daunting. The first hurdle was securing the venue. Waverly Hills Sanatorium was a popular spot for ghost tours and paranormal investigations, but hosting a wedding was a different matter. Amy and Tammy reached out to the management, pitching their idea. To their surprise, the response was positive. "We don't usually host weddings," the manager explained, "but your concept is intriguing. Let's discuss the details." With the venue secured, the next step was the theme. Amy envisioned a Victorian-inspired ceremony, complete with candlelit aisles and antique decor. Tammy, ever the creative force, suggested adding a touch of theatrical flair. "We could have actors dressed as Victorian ghosts," Tammy proposed. "It'll add to the atmosphere." Amy loved the idea. "And we can have a ghostly procession down the aisle." The sisters spent weeks coordinating the details, from the invitations to the menu. They even arranged for a local band to play haunting melodies during the reception. Amy's wedding dress was a work of art. She had always dreamed of wearing a Victorian gown, and now, with the help of a talented seamstress, her dream was becoming a reality. The dress was made of deep burgundy velvet, with lace sleeves and a corset back. It was both elegant and eerie, perfect for a haunted wedding. Tammy, ever the supportive sister, helped Amy with fittings and adjustments. "You look stunning," Tammy said during one fitting. "Brian won't know what hit him." Amy laughed. "I just hope I can walk in this thing." The day before the wedding was filled with last-minute preparations. Amy and Tammy arrived at Waverly Hills Sanatorium early to oversee the setup. The staff had transformed the main hall into a Gothic wonderland, with black candles flickering in every corner and cobwebs adorning the chandeliers. As Amy walked through the venue, she felt a surge of excitement. "This is it," she whispered. "Tomorrow is going to be perfect." Tammy smiled. "You deserve nothing less." The big day arrived, and Amy was a vision in her Victorian gown. Her hair was styled in soft curls, and her makeup was dramatic, with dark eyeliner and deep red lipstick. She looked every bit the Gothic bride she had always dreamed of being. Guests arrived, their faces a mix of curiosity and awe. Many had never attended a wedding quite like this one. As the ceremony began, the lights dimmed, and the sound of a distant organ filled the air. Actors dressed as Victorian ghosts floated down the aisle, adding an eerie touch to the proceedings. Brian stood at the altar, his eyes fixed on Amy. When she appeared, his face lit up with joy. "You look incredible," he whispered as she approached. The ceremony was short but meaningful. Vows were exchanged, rings were placed, and as they kissed, a cheer erupted from the guests. The reception was a celebration like no other. Guests dined on gourmet dishes inspired by Victorian cuisine, and the band played haunting melodies that had everyone on their feet. There was dancing, laughter, and even a few ghost stories shared around the fire pits outside. Amy and Brian shared their first dance under the stars, surrounded by their loved ones. It was a moment of pure happiness, a culmination of their journey together. In the days following the wedding, Amy and Brian reflected on their special day. "It was everything we dreamed of," Amy said, her voice filled with contentment. Brian nodded. "And more." As they looked forward to their future together, they knew one thing for certain: their love story was anything but ordinary, and they wouldn't have it any other way.